Hey everyone, this recording is part of our mini series of looking at the experiences which either send the whole mind body system deeper into suffering, deeper into identification and defense and protection, separation, isolation, all which are the gateway to a far greater truth and an ease and a presence which is liberation. And we've got a great one today. It's being wrong. Because when we are identified in as the doer, so it looks like these actions, so this recording say is coming from me. I'm choosing what to say here. And the content, the ideas are my ideas, my content. They've somehow this entity that I believe myself to be has gathered together these concepts, articulated them into these words, and is presenting them. So it's me. I'm the doer. I'm the chooser. I'm the creator. And when there is identification then with the thing, so either as the words or the recording or the project or the statement or the idea, it becomes an extension of me. So the whole thing is me. It's me. And particularly when I'm vulnerable, when I'm needing to be someone, to assert myself, to be recognized, I'll use these things to have more of a sense of myself as separate. So that in a way, the more vulnerable I am, the more insecure I am, the more needy I am, the more fragile that identity, the more it will hijack words, actions, output, creations as opinions, stands as an extension of me. Through that, I will stabilize myself. And then someone comes along and, dismisses the recording, says that it's terrible, shoots down our idea, argues that what we're saying isn't logical, says that that project that we created is like fundamentally flawed. And now what? Now there's turmoil because that already shaky sense of being, which has tied itself into these things, is entirely as like an earthquake is going on underneath it. And the suffering that we're feeling is because it looks like life and death. It looks like our survival exists in these things, in being right, in being respected for these things, in being acknowledged as a source of rightness, wisdom. And so we scramble. So then the automatic reaction is a scrambling to restabilize, isn't it? So we're in being told we're wrong. We're scrambling to restabilize, and it's entirely now focused on me. And it's got nothing now whatsoever to do with the opinion, the stand, the content of the words, the project, the idea, nothing. That's sort of a decoy, really, because the only thing that's going on really is, can I stabilize my existence? And so the whole system, all attention departs from the content, departs from the stuff that's out in the world, and turns in on me. And now, because that's happening, I'm going to get ultra defensive about these things that I've actually departed from. So say I put out this recording and I'm feeling vulnerable. I feel like I need a bit more exposure. I'm feeling, nervous about my business. I put out this recording and it's I'm fragile within it. Someone comes along and says, that recording was awful, Claire. I don't know what you were talking about. Nothing resonated. Nothing was logical. In fact, you really embarrassed yourself. So now, can you see what's happening? Already fragile. I'm scrambling now to try to restabilize within that. And it's going to have nothing. I'm not capable now of looking at what I said. I'm not capable of playing it back. I'm really thinking through that commentary. Is that true? Is that true what they were saying? Can I see where there's parts that are illogical or where something doesn't make sense? Or do I myself actually believe this? Does it look true to me still? I can't do that. I'm not capable of that because the whole thing has become so wired, so personal, so jangling with fragility and defensiveness that I just have to stabilize myself. And I can do it by, well, lots of different ways, distancing myself from the work. We've seen how that can happen. I can do it by separating out from that person, putting them down, disqualifying them, making myself somehow superior to them. Infinite ways, obviously, of doing that. Or I can stabilize within my own identity, which actually might even take the root of, I'm so rubbish, I'm a disaster, why do I even think I can do this work? I've got no future in this. I was rubbish in the past. I've never been able to succeed in anything. Why should I think this would be any different? Like ironically stabilizing my sense of existence within an identity of failure, but it's stable. It looks like I'm something. In that failure, ironically, the ego, the identity is surviving. So the whole thing, so being wrong is torture. Being wrong when there is full identification with the content, with the opinion, is death, really. And we can see how completely illogical we become, how closed we become to actual new information, how threatened we are by anything that would say that what we're saying is wrong. So yeah, we get it, don't we? So why is it a portal through to freedom? Why is being wrong excellent? Having said all that, because of all that, really, because of all that, because in the moment of someone saying, Claire, that podcast was terrible, it's like a slow motion now. Everything slows down to see what's going on. The response to that can be seen. The physical tension, the stories appearing, the desperation to go into conflict with them or withdraw, all of it starts to become visible in that moment. So being told we're wrong is making transparent all of the ways that it was never about the content. It was only about an ego trying to stabilize. And that sort of acute intervention by someone that like an arrow, you're wrong, what does it do? Amazing to see, amazing to see the reaction. Because it becomes so clear that that reaction isn't about the content. It's not about the truth or the accuracy of what's been said. The reaction is everything to do with the survival of me. And when I say me, I mean me as the entity of me. And so in that slow motion, in that making transparent of the response, all that reaction can be seen, understood, really understood, because, you know, that's the sort of basis of life, isn't it? That shift from fragility to truth. So we see the fragility, we understand it. There might be things in our past that come up, you know, times where, you know, where we maybe spent our whole childhood being told we were wrong, or where being wrong resulted in violence or abuse. You know, like, we can really understand, like, with compassion, that response. It's not problematic in the sense that it's you know, it's egotistical, or, you know, it's not that. It's totally understandable. There has been something programmed within that fragility where being wrong was threatening. So we can see the reaction play out, and in the seeing of it, the whole thing is becoming conscious. You know, it's not buried underneath anymore like a dictator. It's like a hidden dictator. It's conscious now. And now that it's conscious, it can be recognized and seen. And so the reaction's recognized, it's understood, it's allowed to be there. It's allowed to be there, but it's no longer dictating our behavior, because now there are different options for behavior. And the behavior, the sane behavior that is being requested really by this whole situation, is to look at the content. That's all that this is about, really. Someone saying you're wrong is saying, this bit of content has things in there that I don't agree with, that look to be not factually correct. And so we look at the content. We can't when it's about survival of me, but now that it's not, now that that's being seen for what it is, we look at the content. Freedom. It's an intimacy now with the world that is possible, that wasn't before. An intimacy with the things that are coming through this mind-body system that there isn't an entity controlling it. They're who knows where they're coming from, really. You know, being compiled from the entire life experience, everything that's been read, everything that's been spoken about, it's been learned, everything that's all this sort of magical alchemy of things combining together, new connections being made, and out they come. And now, as the witnessing presence that we are, which is neutral, which doesn't have to defend or protect, but is just observing this content. And now there's the question, is the content right? Does it still make sense? Does it deep down, with all protection gone and a totally as objective as it's possible to be, eye on this content, because it's not personal, is there still a sense of rightness to it? Are the things that I'm saying factually correct? This new information that's coming in, how does that fit in with what's been said here? And that now is sanity, and that now is progress within the content, within the world. It's an expansion of learning, an expansion of possibility in the form. Because it might be that, you know, we look at it and we say, well, thanks for those comments, but honestly, this still holds true for me because of XYZ. Or I appreciate your comments. I don't like the way you told me them. I found that unnecessary to bring in insults, because I'm just, you know, we're both keen to make sure that what's put out in the world is as truthful as possible. So I appreciate your help, but I don't appreciate that tone or those words. You know, this is a space of freedom and sanity now. And because now it's only about the content and it's not personal, the whole thing is like a clearing up. It's like a cleaning up of everything that was in that process of creation that isn't true, which includes the idea of myself as the doer, the idea of myself as the chooser of these words, the belief that this opinion or this piece represents me, because all of that was an obstacle that sort of froze everything. That nothing in that space is open to new input. But now there's learning, now there's sanity, now there's truth, now there's reality, now there's intimacy. It's all there. And that's why being wrong takes us deeper into confusion or out into the open space of truth. So cool, isn't it? Thank you. Bye.